Now, ladies and gentlemen of crypto, I've been telling you all for a while that things are about to get really interesting, and I've made various videos saying this is the final warning, etc., etc. But something is on the brink of happening here that could change everything for crypto, and it is this announcement right here. Russia to launch 2 crypto exchanges and stablecoins linked to the yuan and BRICS currency. Now, I'm going to tell you guys straight up that I'm not sure if this is bullish or bearish for the crypto market. I think from the perspective that they are adopting it like crazy, it is really bullish. But from the perspective that this is going to be some sort of battle, which will have many negative effects, this might not be the most amazing thing. Then again, if we're talking about cryptocurrency prices, just think about it. Russia to launch some crypto exchanges, that's crazy bullish. Them to launch stable coins linked to different currencies, that's crazy bullish. And the US and Russia now, again, not too long ago, there was some similar sort of battle. Let's not talk about that one. It was very cold. But them having a race right now towards being the crypto center, I think that could do pretty well for us. Remember recently where Trump said that the US is going to be the center of crypto mining, and then Russia pretty quickly after made another announcement with regards to crypto mining? It kind of feels the same way here. They don't want to be left behind. And this could ultimately be one of the biggest driving factors for crypto. The fact that Russia does not want to be the second choice. Because I mean, even Russia themselves is seeing that Bitcoin would be a pretty good solution. Even cryptos as a concept would be a pretty good solution to the US or some of their troubles. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗿 author says, you must buy Bitcoin because America goes $1 trillion into debt every 100 days. Opt out with Bitcoin. And honestly, Larry Fink's philosophy is slightly different, but it does come down to almost the same thing, which is that you're buying this as a safety measure. And so whenever you feel down, this is for anybody in crypto right now that has been struggling with their investments because maybe they've not been doing too well, maybe something else. If you've been struggling, if you've been thinking about, is this a wise choice? Remember this little post right here. America goes more and more into debt every single day, and Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock himself, said, when everything starts crumbling down, which is kind of inevitable, you have to buy something for that safety. You have to buy something as the hedge, and we believe that cryptocurrencies stand a good chance. But there's a couple more interesting things to know. One is Brad Garlinghouse himself. He said, I'm most certainly biased, but this Ripple Swell 2024 speaker list and Bloomberg as their official media partner will be the best yet. I have a thing to say about that though. Screw Ripple, screw their Bloomberg thing, screw their Swell, because first of all, never invited. Second of all, never allowed. All right? I kind of find it a bit insulting. That's not true. I don't. But I kind of find it sad, I guess, that whenever I've applied for it, I was never allowed to come. Once more, I'm not the Ripple man, and I'm not a partner of theirs, so ultimately, I don't have any right to be, sort of. But I find it kind of odd that they don't appreciate a little bit of coverage that I could do. Then again, c'est la vie, huh? You're going to sit here, cry about it? No, doesn't matter. But that's the reason I've never been able to cover the event, because they've never allowed for the application. I've never was allowed to come. Anyway, what I was saying just now about the whole Russia-US thing, right? Donald Trump teases crypto project and says, for too long, the average American has been squeezed by the big banks and financial elites. It's time we take a stand together. That's kind of what I was trying to showcase a bit earlier when I said that Russia-US, it's interesting that every single time Trump was announcing something US crypto-like or crypto bullishness alike of that sort, that Russia came in pretty quickly to also let some bullish announcement out. A couple other things that were interesting. Grayscale just launched an AVAX trust. I'm not a big user of AVAX, but for gaming stuff, it's quite nice. However, it's not the season for it just quite yet. But the fact they're launching a trust for it, I guess, shows there's some appeal. A couple more interesting things. One is CZ was officially out of prison and now into a halfway house. I don't think this will affect our cryptocurrencies straight away, but over time, this could actually be quite a bullish thing, because the moment he comes back, perhaps it's a good time for BNB and the whole ecosystem again. A couple more things. First of all, I'll show the bottom one. People say this every cycle. It'll never happen again. And then it happens again. Makes me super bullish seeing a lot of these lately. What this is referring to is people saying that this time is going to be different and that the run, like we saw in 2017, will never be replicated. And we'll never see something of this sort. And then in 2021, we saw an even greater run. And then in 2021, people said this will never happen again. This was the last one. And now we're starting to see good things. We're not there yet, but we're starting to see a lot of people say that what happened last cycle won't happen again this time. And usually, whenever that's being set like crazy, we surpass all the expectations because most people are wrong. Remember that. And if we look at the Q4 results, on average, Q4 is the best quarter of the year, meaning that right now we are expecting that even though this is kind of neutral territory that we're in right now, that over a few months, we're going to start banging. And the original prediction back in the beginning of 2024, I think my January or so expectation was that, no, I think before that already. This was before we hit the new all-time high, right? Our expectation was that we're not going to see an all-time high before like October or so. And right now we've basically been hovering sideways, which was also one of our predicted and expected scenarios, which was that we go towards the all-time high, but not really go for the crazy run until we are a lot further in the run. And I think you can kind of see it right here with the way I've drawn it. Yeah, we basically expected things to start popping off around the October mark, potentially even the November mark here before crossing its all-time high. Now, this line is not too accurate, but I think it represents the scope of how we usually move quite accurately. And from that perspective, we expected, even though this can be slightly changed, we expected some crazy price moves to still happen before the end of the year, but not early in the year. Because again, Bitcoin's all-time high was breached when? Let's see here. Around March of 2024. But generally speaking, it never happens before the halving. It usually happens about a fourth into the halving when it breaks the all-time high. About a third into the halving, maybe slightly further, it sets a new all-time high. And then from there, it basically goes down. Now, a third into the halving would be about a year and a half or so after the halving. Since the halving happened April of 2024, 1 year further, April of 2025, and then roughly half a year after that should be the end of the run. So basically from right now today, we've got what seems to me quite logical, about 12 months of bull run left. Just quickly get rid of these. And every single day I see people talking about XRP and asking me the question of, will this run also include XRP? I personally think so, but I also tell you that this is just one of the charts I've got. But if you look at the XRP on a longer term chart, what you'll notice is that it's been so many years in the brewing for one of the craziest breakouts that crypto has ever seen. But for the most part, it's just been down and down and down. Yes, it's been, if you take a look at it from a March 2020 perspective, mostly up with, I guess, a little outlier of the 2021 area, but it's been mostly up, going from 10 cents to 60 cents in the span of a few years. That real crazy breakout that leaves everybody behind, it's not really happened in a long time. Even this whole Ripple winning the lawsuit and XRP not being security back in July 13th of 2023, even that does not look like an outlier anymore. Obviously, it was in one of the lesser phases of the bull market, but right now as it stands, XRP is and has been waiting for a crazy breakout for an extremely long amount of time. And I believe the moment it happens, the moment we cross $1, things will go really, really fast. We need to get there first, and that's been quite hard because Bitcoin has also been trading within a range and has not broken out in an extremely long amount of time, but XRP obviously has a couple of years on them, but yeah. Anyway, as I said before, I will not call this video final warning because I think my final warning is already over. What I will say is that usually in about a month or so, this is where things should get crazy. This is also still kind of my expectation that if it's not going to happen today, and if this is not the run that's started, if you have another small breakdown of sorts with Bitcoin, that is going to be the last one or almost last one because there's not that many months left. And I do not believe, okay, I'm not sure what the last sentence was that I said because there was some crazy knocking on the door. But I want to say we don't have that much time left. And I could keep saying this, but the thing is, guys, I've also said back in 2023 that this is where things probably are going to start going crazy because it went down 80%. And people say, oh, yeah, but it can go down more. Sure, could. But this is most logical. And then once we start to go on a run, even back in, I think, May or so of 2023, I said, this is really, the lowest point is behind us. We're going to start going. And yes, it might be a rocky road. It might not be easy, but the upside is nearly guaranteed. And again, I can never be your guarantor and be a financial advisor and say, this is going to happen. This is what you should do. This is what I'm doing, and I know that it will work for me. There's a 0%, again, in my own mind, right? There's a 0% chance that this is going to fail. The only thing is, which altcoins when? That's my only question. Not a question of, will crypto do well? No, guaranteed in my head. Will crypto do well over the next 6 months? No, guaranteed in my head. It's just a matter of how do we play the game the best? And which one of these will it be? Will it be another 2020-like run, or will it be more like a 2021 type of run, where you have 1 month of crazy altcoin season, 3 months, blah, 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 but then it draws down really quickly with some really nasty slashes? Or will it be more of a gradual run, slow build up, but then all of a sudden parabolic, and it kind of stays on that level for a while before dipping back down months later? Or is it all going to be happening in the span of 1 month? That is all a lot more difficult to say. Then again, I will say Bitcoin first, then big altcoins, then smaller altcoins, smaller, until all of a sudden your mama, your grandma, your taxi driver all are talking about the crazy coin they just invested in. And this time around, though, the meme coin space will be different because Pump.Fund is already so popular. 10,000 new coins are being created every single day. But I still think the run, in a lot of ways, will be quite similar. And that's why this is my strategy. But yeah, that's about it.